What's up guys, Hunter here with Technical Gaming, and in this video I'll be talking about the new operators and how good I think each of them are and how they kind of stack up against one another in terms of how good they are and everything. I've been working on my PC just fixing and installing some stuff for the past like 2 hours, so I'm really annoyed with that. Even though I think I finally finished it, I'm just still really annoyed, so I thought I'd do a video just to kind of get my mind off of that. And anyway, I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while, ever since the new operators have come out, but I wanted to make sure I've spent enough time with each and every one of them before I actually make this video. So I think I finally have done that, and I wanted to talk about that now, so let's get into it. So I'm going to be going in order, talking about the operators I think are least powerful to the most powerful ones out of the three, and so we can go ahead and kick this off with Ying. So I don't think this is a big surprise to many people, and personally I just feel like Ying is extremely underwhelming. I do think her gadget can be very useful and cool, very helpful, especially if you're coordinating with your team and using it correctly, just to make sure you're not blinding your team whenever everyone's trying to push. But it can be very good for, you know, entering a room and being able to get a kill off before they're even able to see you. It's a very good gadget in my opinion. However, I think where Ying really falls off, and I'm sure most people would agree with me here, is her guns. And she has two guns. She has her LMG. I don't have the exact names in my head right now, so I do apologize. But she has an LMG, and then she has a shotgun. Now, I haven't really used the shotgun all that much, but in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinions, shotguns are just not all that good for offense. I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, a lot of the engagements that you're getting in are further ranges, and that's where you want to be as a attacker. So shotguns are usually not all that viable, but her LMG is really weak in my opinion. Now of course I do understand what they're trying to do here. They're trying to vary it up a little bit. They don't want everything or every new operator to feel exactly the same, so they're giving this person an LMG without any kind of better assault rifle where everybody's just going to use the assault rifle. They actually want people to use this LMG, and I completely understand that, and I don't think it's a bad idea at all, but I do think that it needs to be buffed a little bit. I do think that Ying right now is a little underpowered just because of her guns alone, and I think really what her LMG could use is maybe a very minuscule damage buff, and also a little bit of a recoil buff. So basically meaning it'll have less recoil and then just slightly more damage. Of course not too much, because you don't want it to become overpowered, but maybe just a tiny bit more of damage, because I think it's a little weak, and then the recoil is absolutely insane on that thing. But of course you do have to, you know, have some trade-offs because you have such a large magazine. But I do think that they should buff her gun a little bit to make her a little bit better of an operator. I already see a lot of people just choosing the older operators over her, which is something that's not usual for a new operator like this. For someone who's this new, she doesn't get picked a lot, and you know, a lot of times I won't pick her just because of that gun. So I think that's a little bit of a problem, and I do think that that needs to be fixed, and I think that they will fix that. I think that they're probably going to realize that she needs a buff here, so hopefully that will happen. But overall, she's not a terrible operator. I just think that she needs a little bit of a buff for her guns. So now moving on to the next best, or next worst, depending on how you want to look at it, operator, we have Lesion. And personally, I think that Lesion is the absolute best balanced operator that we received in this DLC. He is a very good operator. He can be very good, but he's not too overpowered. I think he has some really well-balanced guns. His shotgun's actually pretty decent, and his SMG is really good. And then he also has a very useful ability, but they're not too crazy, and also you have to stay alive to really make them as effective as possible, just so you can get, you know, many more. So I think he's in a really good place right now. I don't think that Ubisoft should go about changing him in really any way right now. I think he's a really good operator. I like his ability. I like playing him. And yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't think he needs any changes at the moment. I think he's really well balanced. And yeah, there's really not too much more to say about him. I mean, I really like how they did add this new concept of where you have to actually like build up his gadgets. That way you really are concerned about dying quickly, and you don't want to do that because he becomes much more effective the longer you stay alive. And I think that's something that's new that's added into this game, and it's just something that's really important whenever you're playing Lesion. So I really like that. I also like how his traps are very different from everyone else's. They didn't make it, you know, too similar. And I think they're also pretty well balanced. So overall, I really like Lesion, and I think he's really well balanced. So of course, the only one we have left is Ela, and yes, I do think that she is the strongest operator right now. I also think she's a little bit overpowered, and I think a lot of other people would agree with me here. Now, some people may disagree and think Lesion is even better than Ela, but I don't think so. I think that Ela is definitely better, and mainly just because of her Scorpion gun. Her SMG, which is again called the Scorpion, is an insanely good gun. It's sort of like a Vector, but with a lot less recoil and also a lot larger magazine. So basically right now it's a god tier weapon. It's absolutely insane. I think really what they need to do here is just take away some of the magazine, or the capacity of the magazine. Instead of holding 50 bullets, I think maybe something like 30 bullets would be a lot more manageable, and I think that would make her a lot more balanced and in line with someone like Lesion. Other than that, I don't think that her ability is crazy OP or anything like that. I think her ability is actually pretty well balanced. It works well, but it can also be taken out with Twitch, Thatcher, IQ. So overall, I think it's pretty manageable. I do think that maybe they should give her 3 Grisma mines instead of 4. I think that would actually help with 2 different problems. Of course, the main problem being her being a little bit OP, so it would probably help a little bit in that sense, or it would definitely help out in that sense. So instead of having 4, she would of course only have 3, but it would also help in the sense of just lessening the amount of traps that are in this game. Right now there are a ton of traps with the introduction of 2 new trap operators in this one DLC, so now you can have almost an entire team of just trap operators. You could have Frost, Kapkan, Lesion, and Ela, which is just an insane amount of traps to look for, and it can get pretty annoying. So I think maybe taking that number down to 3 wouldn't be a bad thing, and maybe keeping her mag at around 35 rounds. I think that would be a really good balance for her, and I think that would put her still to be a really good top tier operator, but also she wouldn't be at the point of being overpowered, which I think she slightly is right now. So those are my opinions on the new operators and how they're kind of ranked right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you think that I'm right about this, or do you have some other opinions? I would love to hear it down in the comment section. We can have a whole nother conversation about all this down there. But yeah, that's about it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.